today we're gonna build you a DIY Carpenter Bee Trap. Here's an old one that I built, and you can see it's about 1/4 of the way full in that bottle there. This is the old way I used to build them. I found an easier way to do it, and I'll show you. We're gonna try that today. So I'll show you what we're doing here. Pretty simple. Basically, I'm gonna start off with a 1x4. Is what we got here. You can get 4 foot length, 6 foot length, or even 8 foot, or whatever you want from the store, depending on how many you want to make. But remember that a 1x4 cut is 3/4 by 3 3/4. And so I'm going to make a square box basically out of this right now. So I'm going to rip one of them to 2 1/4. That'll be my sides, and then we'll go from there. Nothing's here real precise. These are just Carpenter Bees you're trapping, so you're not going to get award points or anything like that if you get more than the other guys. So we'll go from there. All right, I'm going to make my box about 4 inches. So I'm going to cut both pieces now. They'll be the same size on the saw, and we'll go from there. All right, front and the side. We're gonna go ahead and cut another one, 4 inches. All right, so these are the pieces right here that I got from the backs and sides, and here's one of the sides right here. But we gotta have a hole for the Carpenter bees to come in. And the key to this is where the real key is. You need to do a 1/2 inch hole. And what you want to do is you want to have it angled, okay? You don't want it so they can see through one hole and out the other. You want it angled so they just see darkness. They come into the hole, and the only light they're going to see is the light coming through the bottom hole where the trap is at. So when you're doing this, you want to get your bit in place, and you want to do this slow. You're going to have to go at a 45-degree angle, but to start so this thing doesn't skip all over, go ahead and put the bit in a little bit. And if you have a drill press, you can use that as well. Start getting a little bit in there. Then I'm going to start my turn. And then I'll go ahead and drill it through. There we go. So this is basically the box that we're making. I didn't drill a hole on the back side, but we've got holes in the front and on the sides, and they don't have to be exactly in the same spot. Like I said, this is not a task for perfection here. Just trying to get some carpenter bees. But what I'm going to do though is I've got a brad nailer, and on past ones I brad nailed, and over time the wood wants to separate. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put some wood glue on all the joints and brad nail them at the same time. So that's what we're going to do next. I've got it glued and braided together, and next thing we're going to put a top on it. We'll let the top overlap a little bit, and I'm just going to use some spare pressure treated plywood that I got sitting around. Just cut a small top just to give a little overlap. I've heard that they really like it when there's a little bit of overhang, and it'll also help with the rain flow and stuff to make it last so long. Because important point, non-pressure treated wood. You want to use wood that has not been pressure treated or treated or stained or painted or any kind, because the bees will not really go to that wood unless they have to. They will do it, but they like just straight up wood. So that's why you want to go this route and just have just regular wood. They're more likely to come to it to burrow in it. All right, for the top, I actually couldn't find pressure treated plywood, but I did have a spare piece of pressure treated 1x8 here, so I'm going to go ahead and use this as the top. And it's fine to use pressure treated for the top. You just don't want it on the sides where the carpenter bees want to bore. Here's my back right here. There's our box. And I want to make sure that the holes are going up. Okay, that's the key thing. And I've just got a piece of pressure treated. I'm going to set it on there. So I've got a lip all the way around it, and just glue and brad this in, and we'll be good. That should do it. And I made no nail holes in there, so we're good. Alrighty. So that's the top. Now we got to put a bottom on it, and then we'll show you how to fix the bottom trap to it. Alright, I just cut a little piece to put in the bottom here. And it's not going to be exact fit, but we'll just kind of tap it in there. And go ahead and tack it in once I got it in. And we'll go to the next step. Alright, so here's our Carpenter Bee box, and what we're going to do is old peanut butter jar. What we're going to do is we're going to screw the lid on just like that. We're going to drill a 1/2 inch hole in the middle here, And the idea is the carpenter bees are going to see the wood, they're going to see the holes, think other carpenter bees have already drilled it out. They're going to go in the hole, they're going to see the light at the bottom, and they're going to go down in the trap, and they're going to stay down there because they can't figure out how to get back up for some reason. So that's the next step, screw the lid on. All right, basically want to just screw this lid on. I got a couple wood screws in here. I do recommend pre-drilling your holes in the through here though. Alrighty, and basically just screw this on down and then put the lid on. We need to get a 1/2 inch hole here drilled through. So we're going to start with a small hole first because there is an indentation in this lid. And because this plastic is kind of brittle, I'm going to step up my drill bit sizes until I get to 1/2 inch because I don't want to tear it apart. So we'll do it up size at a time and until I get up to 1/2 inch. Yeah, it's a good idea when you get to bigger sizes to go ahead and put it in a clamp so it doesn't spin around on you, because that 1/2 inch really wants to grab the wood real good. So here we have it. We're going to go screw it on. We'll show you what it looks like. So basically here you have it. Our lid's screwed on there. We're just going to fit it on here. Thread that on. You've got it. So we can put an eye hook up top or whatever you want to do to hang it. I've seen people put wires on either side and to hang it or whatever. But fix it somewhere and put it under an eave, under the peak maybe, or under an eave of a wooden kind of dwelling, porch or something like that. It's usually where they'll come in. But you'll start collecting them in here. Once you get a bunch of them, just unscrew it, dump them out, screw it back in, and you're good to go. Hope that helps. All right, I just hung this trap up and about a couple hours ago, and already I got my first carpenter bee in there, and when there's one there'll be more. Anyway, you can see it works.